The other part of memory is long-term memory, and long-term memory is kind of like our file cabinet. And just like expressive language has two parts, long-term memory has two parts. One part is putting the information in, the other part is getting it out. And they can be uncoupled. The analogy I would give is think about your closet. If your closet's poorly organized, you can have a lot of stuff in it, but you might not be able to find it. Yet, if somebody said to you, do you have a blouse that looks like this? You'd know whether you had it or not, even if you can't find it. Well, that's how memory works. So that, for example, kids that have difficulty with long-term memory recall, but have information stored, might do well on a multiple choice test. Because when you show it to them, they go, oh yeah, I got that in there, I know what that is. But they might not be able to produce it on their own. And this becomes important because one way to deal with this is with memory strategies. Just like if you organize your shirt or your file cabinet, you can find things more easily. And lots of kids, especially kids that have really good rote memory in the younger grades, may find that they have memory finding problems as they move on. Because their brain is kind of like my closet, where they threw everything in it, because they can fit everything in it and they can produce it all the time, but that they don't necessarily have a good filing system. So understanding that, and this becomes just like kids with expressive language disorder, these kids are assumed to not know anything, and they begin to doubt themselves. And imagine if let's say that your principal comes into your classroom and you have a file where you put some papers, and you know the paper's in there, and they want you to produce it on the spot, and you can't find it, and they're standing over you. And you say, could you just go somewhere else for 10 minutes? What happens as soon as they leave? Yeah, so when a kid is sitting in class and you call on them and they can't find something in memory, what happens immediately? The kid, within about, I think the shortest measurable unit of time is how quickly somebody else's hand goes up when one kid hesitates, right? And so as soon as the kid hesitates and the hand goes up, what happens to the kid who's having difficulty finding stuff in their memory? It's hopeless. Their anxiety level goes up and they start fumbling. And and this is why I was scared in elementary school, because the teacher would go, why'd you raise your hand if you didn't know the answer? I go, I think I do know the answer. I just can't find it. And then the kid next to you answers the question and you go, idiot. To yourself. I knew that, why didn't I say it? And then you go home and you tell your mother and she goes, why didn't you answer the question? You knew it last night.